Before there was the CIA, before MI6 or the KGB, there was a group of farmers, merchants, and sailors living in occupied territory, risking their lives for one purpose: freedom. They didn't wear uniforms. They didn't carry muskets, but their weapons were just as powerful: ink, code, deception. This is the story of the Culper spy ring, America's first intelligence network and honestly, one of its most closely guarded secrets during the Revolutionary War.
1776. The American colonies have declared independence from the British Crown, but freedom is, well, far from secure. Within months, New York City falls to the British. It becomes the nerve center of British military operations, filled with redcoats, Hessians, warships, and spies. George Washington knows one thing: he cannot win this war unless he knows what the British are planning, before they do it.
Washington turns to Major Benjamin Tallmadge, his trusted cavalry officer. Tallmadge knows the terrain, he knows the locals, and most importantly, he knows who's willing to risk everything. Tallmadge recruits his childhood friend, Abraham Woodhull, a farmer from Setauket, Long Island. Woodhull agrees, reluctantly. He takes the code name Samuel Culper Sr. He's joined by Robert Townsend, a quiet Quaker merchant in Manhattan, Samuel Culper Jr. No one would suspect him. And that's what makes him deadly. Together, they begin weaving a network through British-occupied territory. They use invisible ink, coded numbers, dead drops, and even laundry lines to pass messages without ever being seen. They're couriers, tavern owners, whaleboat captains, local housewives, ordinary patriots turned spies. Their tradecraft was primitive by modern standards, but honestly it was brilliant in its simplicity. Messages were written with sympathetic stain, which was kind of like an early form of invisible ink. Washington encouraged its use, even writing, "Let the writing be between the lines with the stain. It will not be discovered by the enemy." They also used a code book. Names and places were replaced with numbers. For example, 711 meant George Washington, 727 stood for New York, 219 was gunpowder, and 355 meant lady. A code historians believe may have referred to a female spy, possibly Agent 355, whose true identity remains a mystery. They didn't just write messages though. They hid secrets in letters, receipts, even bills of sale, disguised right there in plain sight. And as for delivery, Austin Rowe, a Setauket tavern keeper, would mount his horse and ride 100 miles round trip through enemy lines. Caleb Brewster, a whaleboat captain, would row across Long Island Sound by night, dodging British patrols with every oar stroke. Anna Strong, the wife of a Patriot judge, hung her laundry in code. A black petticoat meant a message was ready, and white handkerchiefs indicated which cove Brewster would land in. All of this done without speaking a single word. Every mission risked death. One day, Woodhull was stopped at a British checkpoint with suspicious papers. Thinking fast, he claimed they were farm receipts. The guards let him go, but he narrowly escaped exposure. Another time, a loyalist neighbor grew suspicious of his frequent trips to New York. Woodhull laid low, he even considered quitting the ring entirely, but in time, he returned. Because really, the cause was greater than the fear. In 1779, the Culper Ring exposed a British plot to collapse the American economy. The plan? Flood the colonies with counterfeit continental currency. The ring reported the scheme directly to Washington, who swiftly ordered the shutdown of the Continental printing press, preventing the economic disaster. In the year 1780, strange activity starts to unfold around West Point, which is, as you may be aware, a really important fort on the Hudson River. Culper agents begin reporting that the British seem way more interested in the region than usual. And then, well, a British officer, Major John Andre, gets captured by American forces. Hidden inside his boot, secret papers revealing a plot to hand over West Point to the British. The traitor behind it all? None other than General Benedict Arnold. Culper intelligence played a crucial role in uncovering the betrayal before, thankfully, it was too late. Arnold manages to flee to British lines, but the fort, and honestly the entire American cause, were saved. In 1781, Culper agents report the positioning of British forces in New York and Virginia. This intelligence allows Washington to coordinate with French General Rochambeau, faking a move toward New York, but instead, marching south toward Yorktown. British General Cornwallis is caught off guard. He's surrounded, outnumbered, and on October 19, 1781, he surrenders. The war is effectively over, and behind the scenes, the Culper spy ring helped make it happen. For years, no one knew who these spies were. Even George Washington never knew all their names. They never asked for fame. They didn't seek medals. They simply vanished into history. But their actions, quiet, invisible, relentless, helped turn the tide of the war. Their legacy? It lives on in every intelligence agency America would later build. In fact, the CIA's own headquarters holds portraits of Culper Ring members, a tribute to the first Americans who fought in the shadows. In the Age of Revolution, the battlefield was only part of the fight. The rest was carried out in coded letters, in invisible ink, by the hands of men and women whose names we still struggle to uncover. They won their war in silence, and in that silence, they helped give birth to a nation. The Culper spy ring, the unseen hand of American independence. If you enjoyed this story of silent heroes and unseen war, subscribe and explore more forgotten legends of America's founding. Because sometimes, the fate of a nation hangs not in thunder, but in whispers.